All right, everyone, welcome to the October Oracle and Goddess message. My name is Deanna Dorell, and if you're new to my channel, whenever you see this is perfect. I am so happy that you're here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe so that you never miss any videos on how to trust and love yourself. I am an intuitive coach, healer, and relationship expert. And today, what I'm going to do is pull cards for the entire month using my deck, your Magical Intuition Oracle. If you'd like your own deck, I will put the link in so that you can check it out. But we're going to see what the energy is. I don't even know which cards are going to come up, which is very exciting. And I also want to share some important dates that you may want to be aware of, just to circle on your calendar, notice how you're feeling around those dates. And then if there's time and we have the energy going, right, I'll share just some bonus messages and how you can get more. All right, let's go ahead and get grounded. So again, whenever you're watching this is the perfect time, but I invite you to close your eyes because your most potent messages are going to come from a grounded state, not when you're running around doing 1,000 things, okay? So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale. And we just call in spirit and trust that you get exactly what you need from this video. If you're joining me live, hello. I see a couple of you in here, and let me know where you're joining from. And the first thing is the theme. So what can we expect for October? You may have been feeling, if you're in my community for a while, the post-eclipse vibes. Now, what does this mean? So we just came through eclipse season in September where there was not one, but two moons, right? With heightened sensitivity that may have jarred something in your life or something unexpected, an unexpected piece of clarity or action or loss or great thing, right? It can be both. But something that you weren't expecting, and areas where you've been invited to grow. And we're still, to be honest, in the shadow of that time. Hi, Yolanda, welcome. Hi, Megan. And so between now and October 21st, if you have felt, right, like the energy's all over the place, you're not sure where you're coming or going, maybe one day you're super clear about what you want, and the next you're like in a heap of tears, like really confused, you are not alone. Things are recalibrating for your highest good, okay? And October's theme that I wrote down in meditation is passion. This is a month where it's going to be very obvious, you guys, what has your full energy and passion and what you're just not excited about anymore, or who you're not excited about anymore, and vice versa. So it can be kind of a polarizing month, but it's so good for seeing, right, like where your true commitment lies, because what and who you're committed to is going to be there for you for a very long time. It's like a brand new cycle of your life. And don't worry if things feel a little bit confusing right now. This is a chapter that's really meant to spotlight where you have put old passions, right, that maybe you forgot about, where you need to like revive them, and also look at where you need to stop beating a dead horse, metaphorically, and redirect, right? Redirect your time, redirect your schedule, redirect your commitments to clear the calendar, clear space so that you can hear your intuition and what's actually important to you, not what somebody else thinks is important for you. But it's a great month to tap into your personal passions. Already, private clients, I work with a lot of private clients from all over the world, from all walks of life, and a lot of them have shared the theme this week of feeling like they're in between worlds. Like there is an identity shift that's happening and they're getting reminders, right? I'm curious if any of you watching resonate with this, like reminders from the outside world, maybe conversations that seem, right, reminiscent of another time, and you get to respond differently. It's almost like this cool, like cosmic, I don't want to say test, but that's the word that's coming, test to see like, are you going to respond in the same way? Are you going to like allow yourself to be triggered? Or is the new kind of more empowered version of you going to look at this from a different perspective and come out of it, shining and, getting something wonderful on the other side. And sometimes the gift is in neutrality, right? You may get triggered by something or someone and feel absolutely nothing after. It's like, oh, that used to really piss me off and I really don't care, right? And that shows your spiritual growth. So the word of the month is passion. Now let's look at dates before I pull cards, all right? So the dates I want you to circle, Monday is actually really important. Monday, October 6th through the 8th. We have a powerful full moon in Aries, and Aries is a fire sign. So this is really looking at what has culminated, what is coming to an end. Sometimes it feels like an abrupt end in your life, and where are you maybe suppressing anger or frustration, or not saying what you need to say to somebody or something, right? It could be like a situation that is, really bottled up inside. And this is an opportunity from the 6th through the 8th to wrap things up. You're going to get more information, right, leading up to that period to signal you of what to do next. So if things have felt confusing, you may get clarity Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and it's like, oh my gosh, of course I need to say yes to this, or I really actually don't care, or I need to tweak this part of it. And when we're talking about relationships, which is my specialty, this can look like taking things to the next level, right? Having the conversation about what you really desire instead of playing nice for the sake of not being lonely, right? And really taking a chance on yourself and your desires, and trusting that if somebody falls away, right, that it's okay because somebody else is going to come in, and it's that trust that you need to develop this month. Happy birthday, Crystal. Her birthday is on Monday. That is amazing. So extra dose, right, of Aries vibes, which is also, really fun, really great with leading and just going for it. I was telling somebody right before this video, I was listening to the Rocky soundtrack. And if you've ever seen that movie, it's one of my favorite series. It embodies the October vibe, right? Like the underdog, really going after his dreams when the chips are down, at the last minute, something great happening, and the spirit of courage, really. So I'm really excited to see what unfolds for everybody this month. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fast, and it sure as hell is not going to be boring. So October 6th. The other date I want you to be aware of is the 21st. This is pivotal for a couple of reasons. So it marks the end, right, of this eclipse energy that we've been talking about. And so whatever lessons needed to be learned, whatever needed to be handled that maybe you hadn't handled, that is kind of like your deadline. And you'll get signs if you haven't acted on what to do, for sure. But it's also a new moon, so it's a time of new beginnings. The energy will be a lot lighter, a lot more social, right? So we go from kind of this is my thing, and tunnel vision on your passions, to middle to the end of the month, around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, where you may want to connect, with friends that you haven't seen, or take a chance in doing something social, like going to a speed dating event if you're single, or, putting your hat in the ring for a promotion at work, but it has to do with other people, right? Talking about your accomplishments. So there's something about collaboration and your social networks and community that is really, really important. And if you are setting intentions, often we like to set intentions at the beginning of the month just because it's the beginning of the month, and why not? But if you've been frustrated that things are not manifesting, wait until the 21st, right? Let's see how it feels to draft those, because a lot is going to change between the beginning of the month and that 21st, 22nd. And what you thought you wanted may not be what you really, really want. And I always say, we have a plan, and then there's Spirit's plan. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Andrea. Okay, And it's in Libra, which is the sign of balance. We have an air sign. So a fire sign moon followed by an air sign moon, all about being diplomatic, harmony, love. You may also want to spruce up your space. I don't know about you, but I've been jonesing for a redecorating of my office and colors and looking at my closet and seeing what is just not me anymore and where have I been playing it safe, right? With what I'm wearing or, the accessories that I put on. Am I holding on to that ring just because so and so gave it to me? Do I actually even like it? So, or have you been contemplating like a new hairstyle or a cosmetic procedure? Around the new moon time is a good time to take some action around the areas of beauty, around the areas of like luxury experiences. If you've been wanting to invest in something really luxurious, it's a great time. You might find a great deal on something that you maybe couldn't afford before. All Libra themes, okay? And I'm curious, how has this month felt for you? Has it felt pretty smooth? Has it felt kind of like I was talking about in the beginning, a little bit wonky, a little bit all over the place? Let me know. And let's pull some cards. All right, so 4 cards are going down. And as I hold up these cards, if you happen to have a sheet of paper or have something to write with, right? I always recommend writing at the top, what could this mean for me? Because sometimes what I say, right? There's something about what I say that really hits home that may have nothing to do with the actual picture or the words on the card. And I really love teaching my private clients how to trust their own decision making and develop their intuition. So if that's something that you've been wanting, definitely explore one-on-one, okay? And I'll put the link in there. But as we begin the month, Ray of Abundance. The card says there is enough for everyone, and it is the number 13, which gets a very bad rap. It's actually quite a lucky number. Hey, Lindsay, good to see you. So this first week, which we're in right now as I'm recording it, is about an opening, right? So where did you feel like there was no opening before? There was no other option. You were maybe put in a corner, or you felt like you were put in a corner to make a decision about something important. This is a week where you can see other possibilities. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize that the door was unlocked on that corner, right? Or do I even have to use the door? Can I take the elevator or the escalator? Like there's something else that presents, and likely by this weekend, right, that will be clear. And if there's any part of you that's been comparing yourself to another person, maybe a friend that has what you want and you've fallen into kind of scarcity thinking, this is also just like your spiritual wink to remind you that the things that we are envious of, we already possess within ourselves. You wouldn't have the desire if the way or the thing, right, wasn't already in your field. So next time you see somebody that has something that you want, say thank you. Thank you for confirming that I can have that too. And you will open up your energy, clean up your energy, and see abundant possibilities where maybe you didn't before. I gotta take a sip of water. Hang on. Okay. Week 2. Week of the 13th. Did you guys check out my moon necklace? In honor of all the moon energy. Never alone. This is one of my favorite cards. I know I say that about a lot of them. You are always supported, number 18. So immediately what I'm drawn to in this card for everybody are the 2 staffs, right? You see the white staff and the black, and they're coming together with this beautiful feather. So this is a reminder that it's a good week, right? The second week to embrace duality, to look at where you might have been going into either or thinking, right? Or believing that in order to have great things manifest or have your desire come to fruition, that everything had to be lined up, like all your ducks had to be in a row. And this is a card that says, no, like that's only true if you believe it is and you believe that you're doing this life alone, which you're not. And that you are always spiritually supported. So second week is a great week if you've fallen into like insecurity, especially with relationship stuff. to do some journaling, right? To listen to some music. I've been sharing binaural beat playlists with my private clients specific to help them, with anxiety. And oftentimes, right, I work with a lot of high performing, high achieving women. The doing is not the problem. It's the being and the sitting with the emotions that can be challenging. So it's really important, right, to bring in the element of music if you struggle with that. All right, then we go to the third week, which is new moon week, right? Week of the 20th and the 21st. Authenticity says your purpose is to be yourself. And card number 19. Now, you guys know I also do numerology, and I'm actually drawn to the 19. Third week, 19. If you break it down, 1 plus 9 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. Number 1, take care of number 1. New beginnings, number 1, right? New starts, number 1. Where have you been playing number 2, number 3 in your life when you need to put yourself as number 1? This is a week that will spotlight that. It will show where you've been like playing second fiddle or dumbing down what you really say you want, and you get a redo. It's also a very intense vibe. Although it's in Libra and we talked about Libra, new moon, and all of that, it can be very opinionated. So, although it's like the blow may be softened, the message delivered, it's like people are very clear about what they want, and you are very clear about what you want. And this is a gentle reminder, right, to work with that one energy, to stand your ground, but also do it in a very loving way and consider other people's perspectives, not in order to sway your own, but just to see holes in your own thinking, opportunities for more expansive perspectives than maybe you have allowed yourself. This also goes along with that identity thing we talked about earlier. Lindsay, it's your birthday week. Oh, that's awesome. Woo! Double good vibes. And then the last week, the week of the 27th. Let's see. We begin with fire and we end with fire, apparently. Chasing fire. Pay attention to what burns your energy. Card number 30. Okay, so here I'm drawn actually to the halo of light created by the candle. So this is confirming, by the end of the month, if you've been following your true passions, if you have, cut out the things that you really don't care about, if you have the courage to do that to the best of your ability, then this is saying, you get to be in the spotlight of your life as we head into the last quarter of this year. That is so important. If you're watching this, I really want you to hear this. Like, it's okay to be in the spotlight of your own life. It is okay to be seen. It sounds so simple, right, to say it, but it can be hard to allow ourselves to be seen. There may be some fear that comes up, but this last week is saying, no, you've got everything you need as long as you don't get distracted, right, by things that you really don't care about. You get to shine. So let's recap. Week 1, you get to see some openings. Week 2, you're reminded that you're not alone. And if your shadow self pops in to say hi, it's okay. Week 3, authenticity and independence. Watch your thoughts. Consider other people's thoughts. And as you do that, you get to shine. So that is what I have for you for our overall monthly message. And if you would like a private reading, I have opened up my calendar very temporarily for intuitive readings. I'm getting a lot of requests. So you can check out the link in the description of this video if you'd like to book one of those. I am booking through the end of the year. And if you would like more and you're not already receiving my Goddess Love Notes, I send an inspiring message every single Tuesday. You guys know I'm all about practical advice and mixed with the woo on relationships, on self-confidence, and on trusting yourself so that you can be the goddess that you came here to be and command the life and create the life that you really want. So thank you so much for being here with me.